Hello, everyone. Christie Edwards, owner and founder of Sage House Apothecary. I am here. I have been wanting to make this recording for a while, but it has taken me a moment. And the reason behind it, I honestly couldn't tell you outside of the fact that my schedule has been really crazy with work. But I wanted to share something in the hopes that maybe it helps one of you out there. But I've just been doing a lot of inner work, a lot of continuous like self-discovery, also doing a lot of shadow work lately. And I don't think that that was intentional. And so, for those of you that may be new to the term shadow work, although I feel like it's very trendy, shadow work basically means that there are aspects of yourself that you don't like, that you would love to forget, and you kind of just keep it hidden in that back closet. And you just think that, if it's hidden from your sight, it will be forgotten and you can move on with your life. But that is not how it works. So, shadow work, basically, you're going into that closet, digging all of that stuff out, and you're dealing with it. So, lately, I have been in that space through my meditations, just through spirit communicating with me and talking to me, God, spirit, divine, the universe, whatever you choose to call it. But, and in one of my meditations, I have come to the conclusion I'm the problem. I am the problem. And that was really hard for me to acknowledge. And I want to share more so you understand where I'm coming from. So, in this space where, of course, we're walking around, we are spiritual beings living this human existence in this physical suit here on this 3D plane, and we are here to learn. And I realized that many of the situations that I have found myself in, and these can be situations that are very small in terms of, oh, can't believe that person took advantage of me, all the way up to the abusive relationship I found myself in. This was past, long time ago. I'm writing a book about it, and I actually just finished my book, but I'll perhaps share those updates at the end of this video. So I realized I'm the problem. And the reason why I am acknowledging and accepting my part in a lot of things that have not quite gone the way that I would like for them to go in my life, it is because of me either not setting proper boundaries as it relates to people and their access with me, or whether that relates to me not vocalizing at that moment my feelings and how I was feeling and how something made me feel. I just tucked it in, allowed it to fester, and then found myself in a situation weeks, months, years down the line where I just couldn't take it anymore. And then instead of standing up and advocating for myself, I didn't. And I take full responsibility for that. But when I was sitting there and this kind of just clicked for me and in me, I am the problem. I am the problem. So there is a situation, and I'm going to use this as an example. There was a situation where I found myself in a relationship with someone, and I completely fully supported their position as taking the lead. And it ended up, you know, the relationship ended up very lopsided. And I found myself, missing some things from that relationship. And I'm trying to talk vaguely because I don't want people to feel like I'm putting them out on Front Street. But I just found myself not vocalizing what I was feeling because of the way that I revered the relationship. And, and the love and the trust and the honor that I had for this person. I didn't vocalize how I was feeling. I didn't advocate for myself when I felt like I was being taken advantage of. I didn't advocate for myself when I felt like my best interest was basically a low priority. And so weeks went by, months went by, years went by. And I knew that I should have said something and I should have vocalized and stood up for myself, but I didn't. And I found myself in a situation where I couldn't do it anymore. I have gotten to my breaking point. I had had enough, and I think by this time, since I had allowed it to fester for so long, I had anger and resentment that was starting to fester. I did not like the way it made me feel. I started not to like the way I was making myself feel. Me not taking ownership over my feelings or even advocating for myself and vocalizing how I was feeling, that I felt like was depleting my inherent like power that I have. I completely handed my power over to somebody else because I wasn't able to create the boundaries that I needed for myself, or I wasn't able to vocalize how I was feeling. And then I was left depleted. I was left feeling taken advantage of. And to be honest, and to be very frank, which is the same thing, there's no one else to blame but me. And so the reason why I wanted to share this is I just really want this to be a space and a conversation of reflection because when things don't go right, especially when we're working with other people, connecting with people, in relationships with people, in commune with people, we have to I often, and I'm going to speak for me, I'm going to speak for myself. I often will put my needs, desires, and wants to the side and focus on what that individual wants to make them happy. And man, I was about to cuss, but my mother might be watching this. But I realized that is doing a complete disservice to me and my ability to feel empowered, not just through my voice, but also in standing up for myself and advocating for myself. Because if I can't stand up for myself, who's going to stand up for me? And I have just been on this kind of wheel of reflecting on all of this and came to the conclusion that I'm the problem. A lot of times we want to point the finger, well, you made me and you didn't. But you know what? I didn't stand up for myself when I should have, or I didn't step up and say what I should have said out of trying to make peace or out of trying to just keep things chill and happy. And not only did that do a disservice to the relationship and the foundation of the relationship, but it also did a disservice for me and how I showed up for myself. And I had to break that cycle. And so I eventually had to just pull the band-aid off and say what I had to say for myself and realize that it is important and it is okay for me to advocate for myself and to stand up for myself. And to say when no, I don't like that. It doesn't make me feel good. Or no, I don't have time for that. I will allow myself to be stretched so thin, but I won't say anything because I want to make sure that everyone that is involved in my spreading of thinness is okay and happy. And I've gotten to a point, and maybe it's because of, well, no, I think it's growth. I think it's evolution. And I think it's also me getting to a place in my life where I just don't want to do it anymore. And so, therefore, I don't like the way it makes me feel when I'm in a position and someone takes advantage of me. For instance, there's a person that I know that's like, hey, Christy, can I talk to you? I want to pick your brain on a couple of things. And this person already gives me a certain energy. Uh, there is a certain quality of energy that I feel when I am in communication with this person. So I have intentionally distanced myself so that I am not feeling that. And but I'm also in a space where I realize too that this person may not understand that. And for me to not automatically put up a wall and just, keep that person out, but actually take a moment and really hear what this person is trying to say. So I've made that effort. So I've kind of been balancing, which I'm a Libra, y'all. I'm trying to balance. So, and knowing that she, you know, drains me, she'll reach out to me at different times of the night or at any time, whenever, and asks, kind of just toss things my way. Hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing. What are your thoughts? Or hey, can I talk to you for a couple of minutes? Blah, blah, blah. No, I don't. I don't want to. I don't. And I've gotten to that point. But before, okay, okay. Oh, sure. What do you want to talk about? Or what did you want to run by me? Or what did you need advice on? And now I'm just getting to the point where no, I'm not going to do it. And so now I'm being more intentional. And again, y'all, I am a work in progress. So this video may make sense to you. It may not make sense to you, but I am vocalizing how I'm feeling, especially as it relates to me acknowledging that I have been the problem. I have been the problem. I tend to be too willing to compromise, too nice. And is there such a thing as being too nice? I don't know. But sometimes I feel like I am too nice because I am allowing myself to be available to people at all times. But then when it's time for me to need something, there's nobody there for me. Um, and having that knowledge there, that also builds up resentment because I'm not setting boundaries. I'm allowing myself to be in a position where people are taking advantage of me. I don't like the way that makes me feel. And then I'm irritated with myself, not just how I'm showing up because I kind of have this defeated energy about myself because I know better, but I'm not taking the actions to make those changes. And then I'm feeling some kind of way because I'm realizing like I'm letting this person just take complete advantage of me and it doesn't feel good. And not only has that reflected in my life and in my ability to manifest and in my ability to um like truly be okay and like love myself for where I am and who I am and all that I am. It was a challenge for me. And for those of you that know me, I enjoy manifesting. I enjoy just saying, there is something that I want to bring into my life. Let's see what I can do. We can talk about manifesting too if you all want to talk about manifesting because when I started first, after my second divorce, I started to become more open with spirituality. And in the beginning, I just did a test. I was like, you know what? Let me just do this test and see what I'm able to bring into my life. And when I tell you, My life completely changed. It really did. It really changed. So let me know if you want to talk about manifestation. I also, the content that I'm sharing on here, I've also gotten to the point too where, at first I was afraid of talking about spirituality. Why? Why am I trying to show up differently to make other people happy? So I'm just going to put it out there right here. If you don't agree with the content that I'm sharing or with the information that I'm sharing, that's perfectly fine. I don't care. Um, I'm still going to sleep okay, but also realize that it is perfectly fine to have different thoughts and beliefs. And sometimes it's important to expand your ability to learn because you may find that there are truths hidden in everything. So that's how I feel. But yeah, I think the stuff that I share on here, the content that I share may be changing a little bit. Um, but yeah, so just going back to that whole epiphany of me being the problem, oh, it hurt really bad. It hurt. And then I also felt kind of foolish because there's no one for me to blame. There's no one for me to blame. Oh, well, he did this to me. Like the relationship that I was in, um, where DV was involved. I, sh- after one time, it should have just been like, peace. But again, we make these amends in our head, or we make these stories up in our head. Well, I need to stay for this. I want to hang around because of this, or, you know, I'm afraid to leave because maybe this person won't be able to function without me, or I'm going to stay for the kids. That's a big thing. But yeah, I am the problem, and I that's something I need to change. And I'm by no means, again, I'm a work in progress. We all are a work in progress. Nobody is roaming this earth perfect. Nobody. Nobody, nobody, nobody. We are all here on this earth to learn lessons. And these lessons help to expand us. They help to grow us. They help to deepen our spiritual, our spiritual gifts. I mean, they help to ground us in um, understanding who we are, or at least beginning to understand who we are. So I need to change. I need to change that. I need to change the fact that I don't vocalize how I feel right away, or when things should be said. I need to change that. And I also need to stop putting myself in situations where I am working with someone, or yeah, where I'm working with someone or engaging with someone that I know is just not aligned with what I want to do or how I want to show up in the world. And that's something that I need to change. And so, this is kind of this is my first step into the change. The first step is acknowledging that there is a situation, there is an opportunity for change. And this is a wonderful opportunity to change for me, because people are going to do what people do. And if you allow them the space to take advantage of you, then people will take advantage of you. If you allow yourself to, continue to just be, oh, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I'm being nice, I'm being nice. I don't want to create waves. I just want everyone to be happy. People will take advantage of that. It's unfortunate, but people will. And I genuinely, genuinely do have a heart where I just want everyone to be happy. And I really do want to live a life that is of ease and filled with peace, because I've been on the other side and I don't want to go back. I do not want to go back. I mean, we're talking about anxiety attacks, we're talking about crying, hours of the day, not being able to sleep, not being able to eat. Um, yeah, I mean, I went through a period where I had anxiety. I mean, it was really, really bad. And that was an old relationship that I talk about in my book, which is done. My book, Getting Back to Me, is done. But as I've been kind of going back and looking at it to make some changes with my editor, um, I want to make some changes. So I don't know how that's going to work, but it's done. The writing is done, but now we're in the editing piece, so it will take some time for the edits to take place. So I'm excited about that. But, I wrote about it in my book. And of course, now I'm starting to think, well, should I even be talking about this in my book? I mean, it's my story, but, I don't want this person to feel like I outed them. And actually, it's so funny. My editor told me, especially as it relates to writers telling their story, and perhaps it was a story of abuse or trauma, which is all of my stuff. She said, well, maybe you would have been, if maybe you should have been nicer to me and I wouldn't have had anything to write about. I was like, okay, that is the truth. That is facts. But yeah, I'm hoping that this conversation, even though it is a little loopy, because I don't have anything written out, I don't have a script. And I just wanted to come out here and really be authentic in my conversation. And you all will probably see how I'm kind of just looping in around all over the place. But that is my brain. Welcome to my world. Um, but yeah, I was, my hope is that in sharing, maybe you all can see a part of me in you and realize that there are some areas where you too might be the problem because you're not speaking up. You're not speaking your truth. You're not showing up as your authentic self. And that's another thing too. I've spent almost 50 years trying to be what I thought other people wanted me to be. And it was not me. And I've gotten to a point where I'm showing up as me authentically. And if you like it, love it. If you don't like it, I'm still gonna love it because guess what? I love me and I love who I am, who I'm showing up as, even my flaws, like, me being the problem. Even though that doesn't make me feel good, I still love me. It doesn't make me worse. It doesn't make me a bad person. It makes me human, which is what I am here to do, to learn how to experience this life as a human. That's what I'm here to do. And when I tell you this human experience is, it's a doozy. It is a doozy, y'all, especially here on Earth, man. The energy here is just so heavy at times. And yeah, there are some days where I'm like, maybe this is the day I can be beamed up. My people will come and get me. Because Earth is ghetto. Um, but yeah, so I really wanted to share that. I really hope that this video makes sense. I am going to try to do these a little bit more often. And I know I keep saying this in all of my videos. I do mean it. I really do. But my work schedule has been off of the charts. I've been back and forth traveling. I feel like every other week I'm traveling. And when I'm traveling, I'm working from the early morning hours to the wee hours at night. So this type of stuff, and I really enjoy shooting content. I enjoy this type of stuff. I need to find more room for it in my life. So again, I'm a work in progress. So those changes may not happen anytime soon or as fast as I would like, but hey, I acknowledge it. I mean, and the self-realization and actualization, that is an area that I have down pat. I know when I have I'm not at the point yet where I can cuss on here. because I'm still trying to grow this channel. So please like and subscribe. Please do. I would love to engage with you all. I got some really cool people who have reached out to me on this page, and YouTube is a new space for me. I really do enjoy this content. I really do because it provides a space for people to connect with other people in a way where it's not, you don't feel like you're showing off. Well, there are some people on YouTube where they, are showing off kind of their lifestyle. But this isn't that. I definitely want this to be more spiritually grounded, more herbal grounded, um, a space where we can talk about sound healing, we can talk about overcoming trauma and DV, where we really focus on healing and showing up for each other as a community and um, looking at each other and realizing that, we are each we are each other. We are there's a part of you that's in a part of me, and we are all connected in a way that I wish would allow us to hold more respect towards each other. Like if we really understood, like I am you, you are me. There's that one song that I absolutely love from what's her name? Green Tea Pang Human. That song, I love it. Um, and Lakesh Alakin, that is like you are me, I am you in a sense. But yeah, we'll see what happens, but I'm trying, y'all. The only thing I can keep doing is I might fall, but I am going to get up. And I really do enjoy talking, just sharing my feelings. And even though my brain can be all over the place, but I really do miss the whole podcast thing. And I had a recent reading from Khadijah. Hey, Khadijah from the UK, although she may be back in Thailand, I'm not sure. But I had a reading with her, and the podcast piece came up for me again. I really enjoyed podcasting. I really did. I enjoyed our podcast. For those of you that remember, and I think our podcast is still up, Two Queens and Crystal Things. I really enjoyed that space. I enjoyed creating the space. I enjoyed connecting with all of the listeners and building relationships. I mean, I've gotten some really good friendships that have come out of that podcast. And so here I am trying to pick it up again. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I did have a name for the podcast, but now I can't remember what I did with it. So I have to go and look and see. But, this is a space that I would love to be able to connect with people and, talk about spirituality because I'm also realizing that there are a lot of Black women who are starting to feel certain things, sense certain things, see certain things, but can't explain it. And it's their spiritual gifts coming online. Everyone has them, but we call them spiritual gifts. But them coming online and them not knowing what to do because it's demonified. Not demonified. Is that a new word that I just made up? It's demonized. I was combining demonized with vilified. But yeah, it's demonized. And but again, it's just a lot of the language because in the church, when I was in the church, I was told that I was prophetic. And then now that I'm doing this work as an intuitive, it's like, oh no, that's not. Anyway, I could talk about this forever. But I'm going to end the video here. I really appreciate you all for tuning in and for listening to me, even if it is just one person. But I'm going to continue to show up for me. I'm going to continue to show up in this space. Because again, if I'm not able to do it for myself, then who's going to do it for me? Because I don't want to be the problem anymore. I'm done with that. I'm done with being the problem. I mean, I don't know, maybe until tomorrow. We'll see. But no, I am done being the problem for myself, okay? For myself. So I just thank you all for listening, for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, share this video. Maybe share it with someone that you like. I don't know. Does it resonate with you? Do you understand what I'm saying? Can you feel what I'm saying? But yeah, love to stay connected. Thank you so much. Blessings.